So today I'm going to be replacing the tail lights, adding some reflectors and changing the side lights, which I haven't got yet in the mail. These ones are actually quite nice because they've kind of got the old school look. Nice little chrome rim, and I think they suit this kind of style of caravan. I'll show you what I've got at the moment. These are the lights that I need to change as well. But I've got these boring things here, and they're actually cracked, faded, and well past the use by date, and I think that's going to be a rego fail. I've already changed the license plate light, so I figure these ones with the chrome trim will look quite nice. So the idea is take the lens off, then remove the actual backing plate with the wiring, disconnect the wiring, and then place the other ones on. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and change and remove the lights themselves. And these things have been sitting around for such a long time that even the screws have gone rusty. And you can see how they're just dirty, and yeah. And there's a rusty old screw, and here's the lights and so on. So disconnect the backing plate. God knows how long these lights have been on here for, but I suspect quite a few years. And there's the back of it. Oh, look, I've even got a friendly spider there. Come on. Okay. Alright, so now I'll need to disconnect these things, and where's the other one? Down here, and down here. And these are just crimped in like that, which are very, very handy to have. So I'll just remove all those. In fact, I can just do it quickly now by the look of it. Famous last words. There we go. Like that. Yep. Right. And I've lost a screw over here. Okay, so I'm just going to clean this area up, and I'm also going to put a dab of silicone around here, so when I put the backing plate, it's actually watertight. So I'll do those things now. Setup is pretty much the same, the old and the new. So the old had the plate plus the lights in one hit. This one has a nice little rubber backing in which these screws screw onto the backing and then onto the caravan sheet itself. And then this top actually is a separate screw on with its own screws here. So all I need to do is just concentrate on the wiring. Now, unfortunately, these don't have the old school screw in, which I find very useful. These ones are going to have to fabricate, using just electrical plugs to plug them in, cut them to length, etc. So that's going to be a little bit of fiddling around. And one of the biggest issues I'm having now, looking at the backing plate and the electrics, is that this backing plate here, or this rubber strip from the new lights, will sit nicely there and cover it. But the issue is I've got this overhang of wire. I can't actually put that in any further. And even if I was to connect the wire here onto the back of these plugs, I would still have a fair amount of excess. And there's no way I can put this backing plate in like that to cover it. It just doesn't work. If we look at the other side, you'll see how the backing plate has got room in order for it to sit flush. Okay, like that. And of course making use of these, as I said, these connectors, screw-in type connectors, which I think are quite good. So what I'm going to do is, because these things here are not of use to me anymore, I'm thinking that I might actually cut this backing plate to suit the original design, to suit that shape, and make use of these connectors again, and not use these things at all. I've got nothing to lose really, so I'm just going to grab an angle grinder and cut the shape around it, cut these off, and see whether or not I can actually make use of that, and I'll show you how that looks. It might come out completely rubbish, but as I said, I've got nothing to lose. I might as well just use them. But I do like the idea how they're easy to connect, and the extra wires that's sticking out is nicely hidden behind. So I'm going to start grinding away. Right, so the original light backing plate, I'll clean that up, and I've grounded off those two tags there, and the idea would be to trace around the circumference, cut that around, and then that would sit in that, and still have the ability for the wiring to be hidden behind. As I said, got nothing to lose, so I might as well give that a go. So what I'll do is I'll mark it out now and cut it and come back. Here are the clearance lamps to replace these ones just there. And at the very least with these, they've got the screw-in option here, which is what I wanted for the actual tail lights, which of course they didn't come that way. It's given me grief. So I might actually put these ones in, and hopefully these will be a little bit more straightforward. So I've got the 4 here, the lamp, and I'll just put those in. So finally, after hours, I've got these lights on. The side ones took about 10 minutes each, which we're fine, no issues there. These though were a bugger. They probably took me about, well, the first one, this one took me probably about 2 hours. And the reason is that because the wiring sticks out of the panel, and the back of these lights don't have a cavity in place to allow for that wiring to stick, to live. So effectively this was sticking out, couldn't wedge that onto the panel. So I had to do quite a lot of work, and unfortunately, due to me just wanting to get it done, I haven't recorded what I've done. But let's just say that there was a lot of customizing, a lot of cutting and so on to get to this point. So both now are there, and look, given the amount of work, it's actually looking quite good. It's looking to the period of the vehicle. And these unfortunately don't have the chrome edging. It kind of would have been nice if I thought about the chrome edging, but anyway, it is what it is, and I'm just glad that it's done. So all lights are now new. I don't think I should have any issues with registration. So these don't come with built-in reflectors, so I'm yet to put the reflectors, two orange on the sides, so one underneath this light and following this rail here all the way to the front. Another one, I'll put the 2 red ones in the back here, one under each light, and 2 white at the same location as well at the front, and that should cover the registration requirements. But inside there You can see all the bits and pieces, the old stuff there. Alright, so anyway, that's how it looks. And certainly worth the effort, but it's a pity that there was so much customising to do and so on. Alright, thanks for watching.